or unwind in the lounge area or outside on the balcony with friends. La Buena Vida Women's Club, located and designed with women in mind. For information, call Diane at 650-9721.
Hey, you, come here. Do you want to know the news? The Lost Cruises channel is now on 7 days a week, so keep it right here.
Celebrate, celebrate, Fiesta Motors.
Come and see us today and discover why our service is second to none. In business for over 17 years, we have the right car for you. When you buy a vehicle from Fiesta Motors, we do everything possible to ensure your satisfaction. Located at the corner of El Paseo and Main. See you there.
Celebrate, Fiesta Motors, where buying a car is always a celebration.
All right,
man.
Well, that last call kind of took up the first half of the show, but kind of interesting, and it makes you wonder.
We felt like we're doing something positive for the community, trying to get justice. You know, certain other TV stations, they may not be as popular or famous as ours, but they sometimes go in there and intercede for people who are apparently victims of injustice.
Well, we hope that the Coach Light Inn cleans up their act over there and does something to rid themselves of bed bugs. And we hope that Mr. Weaver has a better...
Gets justice somehow.
Gets justice and also doesn't think of Las Cruces as a bad place to stay after being mistreated by the police and by
we wouldn't want that.
the Coach Light Inn.
I agree.
So anyway, let's
have
move
our
on to
show.
other problems we have.
Well, you know, the Munson Center has a problem, but not with bed bugs, with mysterious, carbon monoxide gas.
Gaseous effluents.
Apparently, they had replaced their HVAC system, which is heating, ventilation, air conditioning.
Yes.
Anyway, so their whole system in 2010, which was 35 years after, so their old HVAC system lasted 35 years. They got one in 2010, and now it's
spewing out carbon monoxide.
They think, one would be able to tell if it were that and what they could do about it.
Well, where does carbon monoxide come from? It comes from heaters, gas heaters, right?
Or farts.
No, that's methane.
Oh, methane?
Yes.
What if you're not eating methane? Well, carbon monoxide is one of the components of methane, I would guess, because methane has carbon and it has oxide and other stuff. So it's...
Well, one of the telltale signs of somebody who has carbon monoxide poisoning is a
dead.
very red flushed face before they die. Carbon dioxide, you get blue. Carbon monoxide, you get red.
So you have carbon monoxide poisoning. Your face is a little flushed.
No, I'm just embarrassed.
Oh, okay. To be talking about this?
I am.
So
we hope to get it fixed in the near future, because all those people now have to either go to the Benavides Center
or nowhere else,
or the East Side Center on Tornillo for lunch and other activities.
It's not just lunch; it's a lot of activities. So a lot of people spend their days there, so they have to go elsewhere.
So let's hope the city and the city manager gets to the bottom of this as soon as possible for all the people who...
Or the tech people.
...rely upon the Munson Center.
It's probably a computer glitch.
Now, another thing that's going on, which I was happy to see in yesterday's newspaper, was that the president signed Katie's Law into...
Well, national law. It's national law. We used to have it. We had it. We still have it.
New Mexico created it.
Because
we were the first to have it.
Sepich,
she was murdered here in Las Cruces by a predator. And basically what happens is now... anyone who is arrested on suspicion of a felony gets their DNA taken and stored.
And it goes into the
database.
So all those things that you see on TV, which perhaps happen in a speeded up sequence because they're getting people's DNA and they're going, oh, look, it's Sid, right away. But we don't think that stuff happens that quickly. I know a lot of people who do trials. It takes a while to get DNA analyze and process.
Well, here's what I wonder. If you're arrested on suspicion of a felony and you're found not to be guilty of that felony, do they keep the DNA anyway?
Yes, they do. And they also can check if you are guilty of any other things that have DNA that has not yet been identified.
I see. So even a police officer is charged with a felony, turned out he really didn't do it, they still get to keep his DNA.
Why are you looking at me?
I would hope so.
I didn't make the law up.
You just said you knew that.
You just said a police officer.
Yeah,
I don't
well,
see why a police officer's DNA would be any different than somebody else's DNA.
Well, police officers get their DNA taken when they go to work. body standards are
Everybody in
taken.
the military gets
Yes.
their DNA taken. Everybody in TV gets their DNA taken. All our fans, they come and they say, "Let me have some of your DNA."
Not me.
They do that all the time.
They give me theirs. That's all I'll say.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't want to know.
Now, where were we yesterday?
Yesterday we did some footage over at M5.
We're at the M5.
And we were. No, that's in the wrong direction. Let's go in the other direction. Let's keep moving forward.
Well,
M5 is a really cool bar.
Oh, there's Marcy.
We got some great footage. However, we don't have enough time to put it on because we have like 2 minutes or more where we did the footage, and looks like it's going to be great. It's opening this coming Friday,
And
which
we
is
have a
the
picture
18th.
of Marcy Dickerson
That's
there,
Marcy.
whose establishment it is.
And we were talking about alcohol. She's going to be doing fine cocktails, fine scotches. Here's a picture of the Macallan 30, if anybody's listening. There it is, Macallan 30. She seemed to say it costs $1,000 for the bottle. I find that hard to believe.
She can have the bottle. I'd rather have the scotch.
Right. So, but they're going to have this Macallan as well as all sorts of other things. You know, we had the menu here. I know you have a penchant for interesting drinks. There are some great drinks. Vanilla vodka, champagne, and raspberry sherbet. I mean, cool things.
Looks like a lot of people might think it's one of those frou-frou martini type bars, and I don't know, maybe it is.
It is, but it also is going to have a tough beer like Guinness. You know, if you could drink Guinness, you could drink beer.
Well, they're going to have a huge selection of beers on draft, which is great. I happen to like some of the Irish beers like Harp, and I hope they have that.
They will have bourbons like Basil Hayden. That's a good one. Booker's, Pendleton. Yeah,
And they have food, too. Some appetizers that look pretty interesting.
And they're going to be making very cool cocktails.
And they open up next Friday.
And going to stay open, hopefully for a long, long time.
Well, let's hope so.
We may have a discussion with her later in the year about how things are going.
Let's remind the people that M5 is at the old location of Eddie's Bar and Grill. Mm-hmm. They're at the motel, which is, well,
sort of the corner of the street that you take from Avenida de Mesilla to Walmart.
Yes, exactly.
So it's a great corner. It's convenient. You know, if you happen to get drunk at this bar, it's a hotel, so you could stay there.
That's right. Now,
so that's good. The exciting,
another thing you
famous
can
people.
do at a hotel is to watch the Oscars coming up.
That's it. That's what you could do.
Coming up in end of February, I believe it is. And the nominations came out. I have them here for Best Picture. Many of which I haven't seen. Life of Pi.
I saw that.
Did you see it?
Yes, it's good.
Lincoln.
I saw that.
I
That
saw
was
that.
good.
Argo.
I saw that.
Saw
that
that.
was pretty good.
How about Amour?
Probably not too
I haven't
many
even
people
heard of
saw
that one, really.
Yeah,
How about Beasts of the Southern Wild?
That was around.
That's got that little
it.
girl in it that I hear.
Yeah.
She's nominated, 9
She's
years
the
old.
youngest person nominated.
Right.
I'm guessing that's not going to win Best Picture.
Silver Linings Playbook.
That had some positive feedback,
That
obviously.
had the most nominations of all films.
What, Silver Linings Playbook?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
No.
I thought Lincoln did.
No, this one had one more.
Oh, really?
Also, because in all categories. Django Unchained, nominated for Best Picture.
Well, and that's Quentin Tarantino. He always does a good picture. It's pretty violent.
Next we have was Les Miserables.
Oh, you're going to say Les Miserables, huh?
And finally we have Zero Dark 30, nominated for Best Picture, but ironically was not nominated for Best Director. Even though Catherine Bigelow won last year for Best Director and Best Picture.
Well, you can't always win.
With
you
The
know?
Hurt Locker. Well,
kind of interesting. What do they say on TV? Well, the picture's really good. What'd you do? Use not a very good director?
It directed
How could
itself.
that still happen? Yes.
The picture that
who
directed
knows?
itself.
There are things that are, you know, unlike anything else in this country, the movie industry is very political.
Well, see, now they used to just nominate 5 pictures. Now they're doing as many as 10. This year, we have 9 pictures nominated for Best Motion Picture.
Did your picture get in?
My picture?
Lowriders?
My picture, that would have been
Best
Best
Short
Subject.
Anyway,
But we don't want to talk about my love life.
We do have a local movie. It's not going to probably get an Oscar, but it's getting publicity. It's opening, well, yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
And it'll be running for a while. What's it called? Something about the dust?
Yeah,
I forgot.
No, it's called Among the Dust of Thieves.
Among the Dust of Thieves, which is the story of how Albert Fountain got murdered.
Right. It's about his murder and investigation thereafter. And it's a short film, too.
He was very accomplished. They could add a lot of backstory to him because he did a lot of stuff in his life.
He did. It'd be nice if they could get the funding to complete the film and get a whole full feature. But if you want to see it, it's showing at the Allen Theaters right now. Currently showing at the Fountain Theater is another film made in New Mexico, based on a book by a New Mexico author called Bless Me Ultima.
Well, the author's called Rudolfo Anaya.
That's right. And so we're going to be seeing that at the Fountain Theater there, aren't we?
Well, yes, that's interesting. Everybody who went to NMSU in their English 111 course, I think pretty much in the old days, had to read it. Yes.
Now, one thing they don't have to do is watch The Mentalist, but I watched The Mentalist.
I watched The Mentalist.
One of my favorite
Anybody
shows.
else?
And the big dilemma is this Red John character. And
Bless Me Ultima.
And Red John, of course, killed Simon Baker's
That's Simon
family.
Baker, yes.
Well, I've discovered who Red John is, and I'm going to reveal that, but not today.
And you gave some hints. You're not telling me because
I'm not telling you.
I will always be clueless no matter what happens.
I'll bring it up in the next few weeks.
And you said it's a main character.
It is one of the main characters, I feel. Now, also these
the main character in this show, or maybe the main character in some other show. It could be somebody from another show.
I'm not saying
slipping in and killing people.
I went to some auditions for Midsummer Night's Dream, which is going to be rehearsing here.
Who's that by?
Right away, and that's by old Willie Shakespeare. And they need some. They're still looking for some actors. And if you would like to audition, here's a number to call. It is 208-4413. And
in Las Cruces, those of you, yes.
They're still looking for a Titania,
Ooh, that's
which
a
is
good
one of the
role.
main parts.
That's
and
Kevin Kline and Michelle Pfeiffer. 1-3 or 1-2? 1-3. 208-4413.
And yeah, call up if you have an interest in being in Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yes.
They need the Duke and the Duchess. They need
It's a
several parts.
Fun play. It's funny.
And also,
active.
Tommy Chong's coming to town.
Yes, he is.
You remember Cheech and Chong?
Well, if you can remember Cheech and Chong, then you weren't there.
Well, I do remember them.
Yes,
I
I
was
remember
there.
Tommy Chong.
There's Tommy Chong. He's coming to town.
He's
When?
coming this weekend.
This weekend?
No, he's coming 26th,
Yeah,
I think.
okay.
26th. So get tickets there.
It'll be a comedy show at the Las Cruces Convention Center.
Yes, it should be really good. And we want to welcome the new bishop to Las Cruces.
The bishop of the diocese.
What else can it be? There's not that many big chess players here now that Leo Lapid went out. Oh, and he's back in town. I mean, we have a new bishop, and that should be really good.
Old
and
Bishop,
also,
or old Bishop Ricardo Munoz, or
Ramirez.
Ricardo Ramirez.
He's a great
has
guy.
Retired.
Hopefully this guy is going to be just as good. It'll be really nice. Oh, and happy birthday to my wife, Barbara. And
Happy birthday, Barbara.
and my sister's birthday is in 3 days.
I'm thrilled. Thanks for what.
And there's a lot of people who have birthdays now. You know what they're called?
What?
Capricorns.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us right here on Double Talk, and we'll be back next week.
Right? God willing. God willing, you can never tell. Hopefully, we pray that
think he
we come on
watches?
every year. I hope so. He watches. If he doesn't watch now, he watches on YouTube.
Okay.
Thank you, and see you next week.